At the same time came the disciples unto Jesus, saying, Who is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven? And Jesus called a little child unto him, and set him in the midst of them. And he said, Verily I say unto you, except ye be converted and become as little children, ye shall not enter into the kingdom of heaven. Whosoever therefore shall humble himself as this little child, the same is greatest in the kingdom of heaven. And whoso shall receive one such little child in my name receiveth me. But whoso shall offend one of these little ones which believe in me, it were better for him that a millstone were hanged about his neck, and that he were drowned in the depths of the sea. Woe unto the world because of offences, for it must needs be that offences come, but woe to that man by whom the offence cometh. This is clearly using a child as an example, and it's clearly like, one of the most serious of all crimes to somehow harm a child, so to speak. But this is he's actually talking about believers, especially new believers, but believers that are, humble, just believers. And he's saying that, that if you offend, see, to offend in this context is to put them off. It means to put them off the faith. It's not just to hurt their feelings. It means you've actually put them off. And it says these offences must come, like people will be put off the faith. But he says, woe to that man by whom the offence cometh. It would be better for him that a millstone were hung around his neck and that he were drowned in the depths of the sea. I mean, basically saying, if you put a believer off his faith or her faith, you are, absolutely out of luck by the sound of it. It doesn't sound like there's much really where anyway. I mean, how do you get out of that one? It would be better for you that a millstone were hung around your neck and you were drowned in the depths of the sea. I do believe that's what it's about, though. I've seen believers come and go, being offended all the time. And I know there's a sort of school of thought that, they tend to sort of be disparaging about believers that have been offended and, like, they don't want to go to church anymore, and everyone's kind of going, oh, boo-hoo, grow up or something like that, stop being a baby or whatever. But that's not really the way it is. If you are responsible in some way for upsetting a believer to the extent that they kind of fall away, they don't want to come to church anymore, you best do everything you can in your power to make that up to them and get them back, because God is invested in that person. He's chosen them before the foundation of the world to be his in his kingdom, and you have been the one that has put them off the faith. That is one of the worst offences. People can be so just blasé about, they don't they don't realise that all of these rules about turning the other cheek and love for the brethren and all that, it's a serious thing. I mean, if you don't kind of if you don't really treat people with kid gloves when it, in terms of not being sort of casual about who they are and how they're standing in the faith. I've got people I know, and if I just say go push it too hard, if I just push it too hard, I get too fed up or get impatient, I could have put them off. I could put them off. And then that's on me. Offences must come, but woe unto that man by whom they do come. It would be better for him to be sunk to the bottom of the ocean with a millstone round his neck. I remember reading that when I was young, and I thought, it just gave me such a chill. Because you kind of thought, it would be better if he was sunk. There's something really grim about that image. It's like the concrete boots, it's like when the gangsters used to, like, pour concrete around someone's foot and like drop them in the middle of the sea at night or something like that. It's a very grim, horrible way to go. But this is saying it's worse than that. It's worse than that if you offend one of his little ones. And I don't think he's just talking about children. I think he's talking about believers. Bless you.